What's going on, guys? I'm Jada Black. I want to talk about how, once again, we have women trying to rewrite their own history. Here you have a former Playboy Playmate, Holly Madison, right? Who hasn't really been doing much of anything of note since then. She is continuing to drag Hugh Hefner's name through the mud. And she's talking about how gross it was in the Playboy Mansion. Even though she was there for 8 years, she filmed a reality show. And let me just say this too about her. Holly Madison always came off as like she was the leader of the girls, as she was Hugh Hefner's number one girl. That's how she came off, because I remember seeing that show years ago on E. Okay, that was back when, having, there was really nothing else to watch. If you didn't have cable, or you didn't have sort of like the premium channels or whatnot, there was no real social. I mean, that was social media, but people still watch TV more. So, when you channel surf, you come across these things, right? Because they used to have the Howard Stern show on the E channel late at night on E. When I saw her a part of that show, she always came off as a bit snobbish, as if she was Hugh Hefner's number one girl. But now, because she no longer benefits from Hugh Hefner, now she wants to drag him through the mud and talk about how bad of a person he was, how bad he was to her. But she was there for 7 years. You benefited off of being on that show. No one would know who you were if you didn't make the choice to be on that show. But because she's a mother now, and she has a daughter, now she regrets what her daughter's going to see her doing. So she wants to go out there and try to make it seem like everybody's in the wrong, everybody's bad. Look at Playboy, look at what they were doing. What were you doing, Holly? I bet you participated in a lot of different things and did a lot of different things, because she has this new A&E docu-series show that she's going to speak about the things that have going on. But I just find it funny how these women want to rewrite their own history, and they want to sort of paint this narrative like the people who she benefited from are the bad guys. While meanwhile, she was young and mature. Like, I've learned so much. Let's check out this article from NY Post. An ex-playmate is calling foul at Hugh Hefner's Playboy Mansion. And let me just say this too. I find it to be absolutely ridiculous how these women, after the fact, when Hugh Hefner is no longer here to defend himself, how they want to do these docu-series or write books about this man when he is no longer here. I think that's in very poor taste. Okay? He's no longer here. Now you have all these things to say. You have all these grievances. I felt like I was in a cycle of gross things and I didn't know what to do. Holly Madison, former Playboy pinup and ex-girlfriend of the late Hefner, says in an explosive new clip in a forthcoming A&E docuseries, Secrets of Playboy. In a preview of the 10-hour exploration into the once heralded Playboy empire, set to debut January 24th, Madison, who's 41, unveiled the mental and emotional anguish she endured as a playmate from 2001 to 2008 at the hands of Hefner, who passed away in 2017 at the age of 91. I got to a point where I kind of broke under that pressure and being made to feel like I needed to look exactly like everybody else. Ain't that what most women do? You know what's funny? Most women nowadays feel the pressure of looking like other women. Go on Instagram. If Holly was to go on Instagram right now, a lot of those women are trying to look like each other, and it has nothing to do with anybody else except for their own low self-esteem. So that pressure has always been there. It's been in Hollywood. It's been in the music industry. There's always pressure to look a certain way. It ain't just a Playboy. It ain't just Playboy. And by the way, to be a Playboy bunny, yes, you have to have a certain look. Otherwise, you wouldn't be there. Says Madison, who starred in one of Hef's three voluptuous lover girls on E's reality series, The Girls Next Door. The blonde bombshell said that after 6 months of living alongside a gaggle of equally fair-haired and full-figure vixens, she arbitrarily chopped off her lengthy golden locks as a confidence boost. But she claims Hef's reaction to her new look was a total bust. I came back with short hair and he flipped out on me, says Madison of the PLAYB0Y powerhouse. He was screaming at me and said it made me look old, hard, and cheap. Well, once again, you're one of his girls. You're living in this Playboy mansion. You're a Playboy playmate. If he asked you to look a certain way, I would expect him to react that way if you do the opposite. But that's just me. Madison claims of Hef's outrage are confirmed on the show by his friend Jonathan Baker. I remember when she cut her hair, the mogul buddy said he was very unhappy about it. Yup, his world. Hef would be pretty abrasive in the way he said things to Holly, chimes in former Playmate and Madison Girl Next Door co-star Bridget. Well, I mean, the guy is an older man. I mean, what do these younger women expect when you are living around a guy who I believe at the time was in his 70s, maybe early 80s, late 70s at the time? I mean, you don't think a guy that age is going to be abrasive and going to be very blunt? He's not like these males of today that's going to beat around the bush and not be honest with you. He's going to tell you how he feels. He's going to tell you exactly how he feels. She came down with red lipstick one time and he flipped out, said he hated red lipstick on girls and told her she needed to take it off right away. He added, who also says Hef never erupted when other playmates donned a crimson lip color. It was very frustrating to live with every day. She continues, all of the drama that was going on and the tension, I could definitely see that Madison was getting depressed and sad, and her demeanor was starting to change. And that's when she should have left, which she ended up doing. But once again, if it wasn't for Hugh Hefner, nobody would know who you are. When you decided to go to the Playboy mansion, it was a choice, people. But she regrets it because she's in a different phase of her life. And now she wants people to think that she's a completely different person, and she wants to separate herself from that. Madison ultimately deemed her affiliation with Playboy a dangerous choice. Wasn't the only playmate to experience Hef's sinister side. Oh my God. You see how they're just dragging this guy who's no longer here through the mud? Were they saying this to Hugh Hefner when he was here? Hef pretended that he wasn't involved in any hard drug use at the mansion, but that was a lie, says Hefner's ex Sandra Theodore, a playmate from 1976 to 1981. Quaaludes down the line were used for relations. Of course, back then a lot of those guys used those stuff. Nobody said Hugh Hefner was clean cut. The guy ran a Playboy mansion with all types of debauchery. It's known for its debauchery. We know that Hugh Hefner's mansion was known for its debauchery and its parties. No one has ever said the guy was clean cut, but I think the guy gave a lot of those women an opportunity. And yes, it was on his terms, because a man who's has higher value in himself is going to have options. And if you don't like it, you can always leave. He never held those women against their will. Never. Those women chose to be there. They chose to be there. They can't come back and say and try to drag this man through the mud when they chose to be a part of that lifestyle. The Playboy mansion, all that, has been known for its debauchery for decades, before Holly Madison even got there, and she still went there anyway. Noting the lovely cessation of hypnotic, sedative, induces. Of course, we know about the Quaaludes. Usually you just took a half of the Quaalude, but if you took 2, you'd pass out. Theodore 64 reveals there was such a seduction, and men knew that they could get girls to do just about anything they wanted if they gave them a Quaalude. Ain't that what they claim Bill Cosby did? Because Bill Cosby was giving women Quaaludes. So is she saying that Hugh Hefner was giving women Quaaludes and taking advantage of them? Listen, man, I do think that this could be a cash grab. This could be a way of her getting back at Hef after he's gone. I just want people to understand something. This was a choice. Being a Playboy Playmate was a choice. She chose to do it. You can't come back when you have regrets and you're in your 40s and you're a mom now, and now all of a sudden you want to speak out. When you benefited, we seen you on reality TV. We don't know what you were, how you were behind the scenes, but it's easy to drag a man through the mud who's no longer here for a choice that you made. So let me think in the comment section below and let me know your thoughts.